Secret Friends Unite!
Welcome to the Secret Friends Unite Gamercast. This is the E3 Predictions Edition. I'm your host, Todd Oxtra, joined by Lady Lovely Locks, Lisa Goodman.
Oh, I like that. That's like, we're just adding to my list of nicknames these days.
Right.
And they're getting nicer.
They are getting nicer, you know? I mean, Bitch Cakes was already taken. Sorry.
Clown Bitch, Grandma Cyborg.
Whatever you want, you can have. It can be a long-running...
I'll stick with Lovely Locks, thanks.
There you go. We are also joined by some, I guess, first-timers, virgins to the podcast.
Yes.
Secret Friends. We are excited to have some good friends of the Secret Friends. So first of all, Larry Giver of the World 1-1 podcast. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to let my beard join you.
Yes, I have, Lisa, both of us have beard envy over Larry. We've been talking about this beforehand.
I mean, that is some lush foliage going on that chin.
Yes. And, I have a lot of envy because I don't grow a lot of hair, as people have seen, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay. I'm
You're not a hairy man.
No. I've said that the brain power is just it creates too much heat and just drives the hair off my head.
What does
just
that say about
emanating
me?
radiation and just burning it off.
Lisa,
wait,
you get by in your looks.
Yeah, thank God.
Also joined by a member of the Secret Friends Unite podcast group, Scott Barber.
Thank you for having me. First-time podcaster, period. So I'm a true virgin.
Popping his cherry.
Don't worry. We'll be gentle.
They will, I'm
We
not.
won't go in Jai either.
Okay. Oh, yes, we're all lubricated tonight, except for Larry, but that's okay. He can just, enjoy our nonsense as we are drinking tonight, because, hey, it's a night podcast. And if you're listening, it's 5 o'clock. We're probably where you're listening. Enjoy a beer or a beverage as well.
To be fair, if you've ever heard me on my show, it sounds like when I rant, I'm drunk anyways, so...
You don't need the help.
Oh, Scott, you've got an excellent voice, actually. I was going to commend you on your excellent timbre in your voice. It's awesome. Oh, wow.
I appreciate that.
Yes, it's fun. And Larry, you are... I'm a big fan of your podcast. You and Ed and Adrian. Adrian, is he semi-regular? Because I've listened. He's been on. Sometimes he's not on. But you guys do an awesome job. You just recently listened to the Pierre Schneider episode. He's the bigwig at IGN. It's an awesome dude, and you guys did an awesome job talking to him.
Nice poll.
Although
Nice poll.
I'm going to call out Edward Varnell for his love of Metroid Other M. Oh my God.
I can half defend it. I can halfway defend it. And I will speak as the proclaimed greatest dedicated fan on the face of the planet, which afterwards remind me I will show you my assorted collection of paraphernalia that'll make your head spin. Never mind the great big inking of her on my back, 10 inches tall and proud. Actually, where I started was right there on my arm.
Holy crap.
Wow.
That one eventually will be finished.
Are we going to start busting out geek tattoos?
I think we
I can play that game.
Yeah, know your host and where their tattoos are located. Or guess, maybe. That would be a good thing. So, anytime we have new folks on the podcast, we always ask you kind of what's your geek 1-minute elevator pitch? How did you get into the world of geek? So, Scott, how did you get into the world of geek?
I got into geek because of, Star Wars. I remember seeing that several times at the old school drive-in theaters with my grandparents, and ever since I've been a big Star Wars fan. And then my dad actually got me into the video games. My dad loved video games.
How cool is that?
Yeah, shit would come out, and my dad would buy it before I even kind of knew it was out there. bought the ColecoVision and television, Nintendo, all that
I
stuff.
had those,
so.
yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
Smurf
so
on
I was-
television, nothing better. Smurf was on ColecoVision, and that was a
Yes.
fun game.
Smurf!
Great game. And
Was it
Venture,
Smurfy? Was it Smurfy?
It
I
was
love
very
Venture
Smurfy.
too.
Oh, Adventure, the first RPG really that had like I believe one of the developers put like a little Easter egg of their initials or their name in the game because they wanted credit for it.
That's
Good
cute.
stuff. And I was hooked on Zelda and Super Mario on the Nintendo. Typically with consoles, I find a few games that I love, and I play them a lot as opposed to playing like every single thing that comes out. But
Well, like me, you probably don't have ample time to play either.
right,
Yeah. So you do not have slutty hands. We talked about people who like to watch anything. Slutty eyeballs, Lisa.
That's
Slutty
Charlie,
hands
right?
would
Not
mean-
me.
Yeah, no, not me either.
Wait,
No.
I'm slutty. What?
No, slutty hands. Like you play a lot of games. No
I'm only
dedication.
slutty with books. I'm a book slut.
That's true. Yes.
you should do audiobooks.
It says at the library. It says for a good time call Lisa.
Oh God! For a minute, I thought he meant I should do audiobooks like I should read them,
Oh.
but he means I should listen to them.
Oh, there you go.
There could be some merit in, narrating some audiobooks. Conrad Zimmerman was talking about that a couple weeks ago with us.
If I could charge like per word, I would totally do it.
That's
You
the point,
could
right?
narrate audiobooks in sexy voice the whole time.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Or clown voice. Woohoo!
Because we know how much I love clowns, clown bitch.
Oh well.
Let's be fair though, she just could not compare with the Gilbert Gottfried reading of 50 Shades of Grey.
I was totally going to bring the same thing up. There was nothing
God.
separate. It was like panties dropping worldwide.
That's when the turtle goes back into the shell. I don't know what's called when the ladies go back
I
into
was
the
like,
shell.
what the the turtle in what shell?
Oh, you know.
Do you
I'm just
retake
fathoming
a
somebody
banana
having a
course?
fantasy about the parrot from Aladdin
Oh,
in
Scott
the
was the
vagina.
only person medically qualified to explain to you how that works.
What's that?
I said, do we need Scott to explain to Todd like female anatomy? 'Cause clearly,
No. I was
he
talking
thinks
about the guys.
turtle in
The
a
guys.
shell.
No. The guys. The guys. Sorry, I was
Oh.
mentioning the guys. I don't know what the narrative for women in that example is. I don't know what the version with the ladies is. You know.
Let's
Tropics
not.
turn to the
Okay.
Sahara.
Yeah. So, Scott, I am very jealous. My dad was into Abbott and Costello and old westerns as a kid, so that's
Oh,
about as
come on.
deep as I
Abbott
got.
and Costello is some good shit, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Especially
quite
the
a
monster
stuff.
ones. The monster ones.
My dad's he buys more geek shit than me. He's got the PS4 VR that he's been playing.
Oh my God, have you tried it out?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you gotta. When you try it out, let us know what you think because, as apparently I've been called out I'm a snowflake and everything bothers me, and I can't handle reading books at night or anything, and or VR, I'll get sick. So
Who said that about you?
I don't know, Lisa. I don't know who would say that about me. I'm sure she's a
Now,
wonderful
he
person.
did say that some of the VR games he can only play like 45 minutes, hour at a time. But he bought this new one called Farpoint,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
which is pretty well executed in that you can play it for quite a while without getting like dizzy, nauseous, because it's kind of a linear game. You're not like looking all over the place for enemies and stuff like that. So.
Did he get the attachment, the aim attachment?
Yeah, that gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it came with it for like $69.99.
I've heard that's
At Best Buy.
excellent. I heard that's very
for something
that's
like
excellent.
that.
Very. I could tell his gears were going.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Larry,
This is why
what's
we don't
your-
let me drink on the podcast, I might
yeah,
add.
you drink, Lisa.
I'm
You keep drinking.
planning on it.
Larry, what's your geek pitch?
My entry into the geek kingdom is far sadder. I grew up in a neighborhood with no kids, so my forms of entertainment included reading books, playing with Legos, or playing video games, because those are all things I could do by my fucking self.
Poor Larry. Aw. Larry's lying, actually. Nobody wanted to play with him. Sorry. That weird Larry
No, you-
kid. Stay away from him.
You ask my dad, and he'll tell you, it's like, I honestly always kind of felt bad for you growing up because you never had any kids in the neighborhood to play with. So,
Old Mr. Johnson was the only person that was close to your age.
Well, when did you have the beard? At like 9?
Actually, this came about freshman year of high school. It
Holy
just
shit.
instant full Wolfman.
Nice.
I could only
Wow.
grow a crappy mustache, and it was horrible.
Like by
I
seventh
need to
grade,
see
I was
pictures.
by seventh grade I was shaving. By ninth grade, it was boom.
Holy. Wow.
It's kind of, for guys, facial hair is kind of like I don't know, it's like a milestone, right? Don't you think? When you got it, you're like, I'm going to flaunt it. And maybe
For
you
women too, but not till you're like 57.
That's true. You and
Just
Matt
imagine
Webb,
what
you
would
know,
happen
yeah.
if I let it go full beard instead of just confined to the chin space.
Oh my goodness.
Chin
boy.
space.
So we got a tale of two geeks here. We got fully engaged by parents and sad Larry. But Larry, you're the man you are is because of how you were raised and your geek background. So awesome.
I will give credit to my father, though. The other half of that equation is the fact that I grew up in a very sci-fi friendly household because of my dad. I grew up with a whole lot of Star Trek up until the point when B5 came out, and I went, "Oh, look, a better thing."
Ooh, Larry, I am a huge Babylon 5 fan. Unfortunately, my co-host thinks it's the cheaper, crappier version, but I would say this. Babylon 5 was doing things on TV that no one even imagined to do before.
Oh, I go through an annual watching of the full series every year, and that just got easier about a month and a half, 2 months ago, because the entire series is now up for free on Go90.
Oh, really? That's a great service. They have a lot of fun, unique, original content, too.
They just picked up a handful of really good sci-fi stuff all at once, including B5, Sarah Connor Chronicles, and Fringe.
Awesome.
Oh, I love
Never
Fringe.
watched Fringe.
Fringe is
excellent.
Oh,
Great
dear
show.
God, watch it. Actually, the main character from Fringe is who my daughter was named after.
And that's a show,
Awesome.
just like a lot of other shows, where the first season isn't always the best way to judge ultimately what that show is, right? Because it gets more depth in the second and later seasons.
God, I could say that about a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Well, even through that first season, though, they were laying seeds of things that were all going to come to fruition later.
Yeah, I watched it first and it didn't grab me, but I would love to go back and check that out because I've heard it's so good. And it's got Joshua Jackson in. I love Dawson Creek. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have like a total nerd boner for Dawson's.
Lisa, I don't want to wait for my life to be over.
I've never seen a single episode because we all know.
I haven't either.
No, we know that I have a real hatred for like chick flicky kind of stuff.
I won't do Dawson's Creek or any of that shit, but I will do Gilmore Girls all day long.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's
Never
so
saw
good.
that.
It's so
Gilmore
good.
Girls is hands down one of the most flatly intelligent comedy shows you will ever see. I have never met a person in my life that has managed to catch every single joke in any one episode.
It's the West
I'll have to watch
Wing
it.
with mother issues. That's the best way to describe it. It's excellent.
That's up there.
Yeah.
Netflix actually did a great job wrapping that up.
Yeah, my wife had issues with it. She's a huge fan. She wasn't completely satisfied. I'm on. I need to watch 2 more of those, and we will. Now we'll be complete. So
But your wife's adorable and a ninja.
that's true. Taekwondo Empress, I guess you would call her. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the intro to the show, and we got to get into the meat of this puppy, guys. So we are going to get into Geekin' Ain't Easy.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of the town of Bel Air.
We gave Madam Web the week off, Lisa, so that's why we're not doing this. But we're hanging out. We're talking about what we're excited about in the world of geek this week with the video game edge to it, and also other things in the world of geek. And Scott, you were the one that we started talking about Destiny 2, and you were excited to talk about this, and I am too, because apparently we played Destiny back in the day. And I didn't even know
you're
it.
one.
Yeah, and that was kind of crazy, and it's kind of weird how this has all worked out with Lisa, you and 2 knowing each other and everything like that, but...
I know, that was funny. I'm like, well, I saw you comment on her Facebook post, and I'm like, hold on, I know that name.
I know that.
And I asked Lisa, I'm like, is that Todd guy from like Minnesota or something like that? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I actually met him about 4-6 months ago, just in that Facebook group, because you were looking for people to play with.
Which one? Was it the
Fire Team Chat?
Oh yeah, from IGN. Yeah. Excellent. Well, Destiny 2, obviously we know it's coming out. They had the gameplay reveal, and one of the big things they talked about was the fact that they're going to make it easier for people to play together and do the things you like, and take down some of the barriers of entry. I've talked about the fact that it's a game. I put about 250 hours in Destiny, and that's not a lot for a lot of people. But for me, that's a lot for a game. I know, Scott, you're probably like, I put like 2,500 hours in, but
not quite, but an embarrassing amount. Yeah. Probably 2,200.
Yeah. And Larry, have you played Destiny at all?
I'm not a Destiny person. I'm not usually big for the online shooters.
Me neither, Larry.
I'm usually not either, but the thing about Destiny that got me was the co-op nature. It wasn't the player versus player, it was the player versus everything, like in MMOs where you and a bunch of a team go out and you do things together, and you can do it as a strike with 3 people. You can play the single-player game on your own if you want. You can go on a raid with 6 of your friends, supposed friends that you are tight with, but really you aren't because you're just trying to find people to play with, and you have to be friends with them. And that was mine thing. I ended up adding about 300 people on my PS4 list because I needed people to play with. And the first raid I ever beat was with a bunch of Norwegians on looking for guild, basically, Destiny, looking for people to play with because it was so hard to find people to play with. But basically, Destiny, I loved the game, but I fell off and fell out of love with it because it kind of felt very, here's a new DLC, here's a new raid, and here's a new strike and whatever. Rinse and repeat. The gear is okay, but it's not fantastic. They didn't really introduce a lot of new enemies. They only introduced new classes once, which is kind of disappointing.
Right, subclasses.
Yeah, they didn't really introduce a lot of new weapon types, except for the sword, which they already did. So we know, though, watching this gameplay trailer, that they are going to be introducing a grenade launcher, at least, as a heavy, which is going to be fantastic. They're adding a lot of new other elements in regards to how many weapons you can hold and things like that. And I think the game has a lot of room to improve for playability. The fact is that your whole D-pad is about emotes, where you can do the thriller dance, things like that. That stuff I don't really care about. I'd rather have those be like quick, added your extra. Yeah, hotkeys for different things as well. So, but this is coming out for PC. It's going to be in 4K on PC. It's not going to hit 60 frames per second on any console, even Scorpio. They've talked about this, but it's going to look better. It's going to be fun. They're hyping up and they're building the players, and you'll actually be able to play with NPCs for the first time as well in missions. So, very excited about this. So, Scott, what's your take?
Well, they are bringing in submachine guns too. I don't know if you heard that. Which I assume will be a heavy type of weapon class, but I don't know.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And they're doing something a little different with weapons, because right now your primaries are your auto rifles, hand cannons, pulse rifles, that sort of thing. And then your specials were snipers and shotguns for the most part. Well, they're doing it now instead of primary and special. You got primary and elemental weapons. So you could, instead of having a sniper and an auto rifle, you can have an auto rifle and a hand cannon, which are essentially 2 primaries, but if one is elemental, you can essentially keep 2 primary weapons holstered. And then your heavy slots, rocket launchers, and so forth.
Yeah, the lack of elemental primaries was always a thing I felt like that was very lacking in the game, and I kind of felt like they just really limited that, so I don't know if that's something they'll fix. So, with Destiny 2, we know what they've announced so far, but what's your most hopeful thing that they'll change or they'll add?
Well, I hope they add story-focused content, because as you know, when you played it, the main story, even in the original game, I mean, you could blow through that pretty quick, and then with the DLCs, the story content was pretty light as well. I mean, if you're rolling with somebody, you can blow that out in a couple hours, But the reason you keep playing is to level up. That's that's the primary reason people dump so many hours, not to get through this huge, gigantic story, but to get to the level that you need to get to. So I'm hoping there's more story content to keep people playing, and hopefully they add a little more with the strikes and the raids, and more. Well, you mentioned accessibility. You'll be able to pull people in during the game to find people that are playing the raid on the game itself, as opposed to having to go to forums and using apps to find people to play with and that sort of thing. So hopefully that works out, but the reason they were hesitant to read originally is the fear of if we make players searchable in the game to do raids, people will just bail out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. The other thing I hope is when they do DLCs, there's a little more depth to the content. I mean, that's usually the biggest complaint with any of the DLCs that they came out with was, well, the DLC was really cool, but Jesus, done in several hours. So now it's back to just grinding to level up sort of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, considering the voice talent they have for this game, they had Peter Dinklage in the first game, in the beginning, and either the voice directing was so bad, but he just sounded so lifeless. And I know he was a robot, but I just kind of felt like his wit and humor. You've got Peter Dinklage. He is he's a master of wit. I mean, that's right, and you don't use him rightly. So what I've kind of glommed onto. They've got a lot of great talent. Lance Henriksen from Fringe. They've got Nathan Fillion from obviously from Firefly and all this stuff. They've got
my man crush.
Exactly. They've got
overrated show.
Oh, Larry, go away. No, it's good. I love that show. But no, they've got some great other characters. They've got the I can't remember what her name is. It was Wash's wife.
What do you got? Come on.
Wash's wife is also one of the voice talents.
Zoe.
Yes, and then they also had Terrence Stamp. So they had a lot of great voice talent, and
right.
I kind of felt like wasted. So I'm hoping more of that. One of my big things that they do something with the ship. You got the ship.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
I mean, Bungie,
such a pointless thing.
I mean, Halo 3, was it Halo 3 or Halo Reach, where they actually had space combat with the ship?
Right.
You give us a ship. Let's just do some space combat. Even it doesn't have to be in depth. It can just be fun. A diversion, kind of like the Sparrow races or something like that. Make it fun. Even Call of Duty did cool vehicle combat. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be more vehicle combat in Destiny. I think that's something that Halo did so well, and the fact that they don't do a lot of it. You've got your Sparrow, but it has no offensive capabilities. It's kind of lame, too. Kind of nice if you could upgrade that and do things like that. But obviously, they don't want you just coming in like Leroy Jenkins and breaking up the joint with your Sparrow that's on steroids, but still make it fun.
Right.
Yeah.
The
for somebody to yell Leroy Jenkins, but nobody.
The ships are so pointless, and a lot of them are just the same ship, just reskinned with a different color or skin to it. But yeah, some sort of combat other than just seeing a damn ship in a cutscene from where you're going to orbit into activity.
Yeah.
I was like you. I was hoping, I'm like, they can do Sparrow racing. Why can't we get on the planet surface and be in ships winding around these cities and shit? Shooting each other.
What about this? You have a strike, and you can have a fourth person be like aerial support.
That'd be awesome.
Do something fun. I just think they have a lot of room where they can go, and I hope they don't slow roll this with like the 10-year Destiny plan where they've got all this stuff planned and they're just leaking out a little bit stuff, because just like Destiny fans, just like Nintendo fans, they will buy whatever, they'll play whatever because they love what they do so much. So
right.
I'm excited.
And I dump a lot of hours in just because I like playing the PvP. There's no purpose for me playing now, but I'll throw down a couple matches of PvP usually every day.
Oh,
just
God, I'm
for the hell of it. But
all I play is Iron Banner every once in a while, just for fun. But I suck.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Every once in a while, I feel awesome.
Dude, some of these people, man, they'll play Destiny for hundreds of hours trying to get a specific ship, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, why?
Exactly. There's a sickness to it, just like anything else. So hey, hey, and not to offend, if you're big into this, I know Sean Church, big fan. He has been one of my Sherpas, awesome guy, and everybody has a Sherpa in Destiny that's helped them get to where they need to be. And if I didn't have him and some other folks, I would have never got the Black Spindle, because Holy shit, that was a hard thing to get, but...
That was rough.
Oh, God almighty. Oh, well, we are... I can see Larry and Lisa falling asleep. There's snoring happening.
No.
They've muted
No,
themselves.
my eyes just never look all that open, so...
You sleep with your eyes open, don't you, Larry?
I don't.
You scare your wife, and you look over. She's like, "What?" Okay, and Lisa's just like, she ignores me as normal. Oh well.
I was gonna say that's something new.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
So that was Scott's big news. Lisa, anything for you this week that you're geeking out about?
I just want to take a moment to address the male tears of all the assholes who had a major issue with the fact that the Alamo Drafthouse was doing a women's only showing of Wonder Woman. Did anybody catch this story?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh,
today.
I caught it. I can argue either side of that, and so I just stopped arguing.
How about you don't?
White woman privilege. Am I right, Larry?
Like I said, I
Fuck.
can literally argue either side.
Yes, like the devil's advocate or a good debater.
Mm-hmm.
A master debater?
Yes, master debater.
The best was that the Alamo Drafthouse did a really, really good job of trolling people on Twitter, or even on Facebook, who were griping about it. Let me point out that it took 76 years for Wonder Woman to get a fucking movie. And how many movies has Superman and Batman had? Or other things? Cartoons, books, anything. So the Alamo Drafthouse, if you get a chance, if you look at some of the stuff they had to say to people's comments, they were just doing such a good job of trolling people. A guy posted to them, "Have you ever hosted a men's only showing of any film?" And they said, "We've never done showings where you had to be a man to get in, but we did show the Entourage movie a few years ago." And I thought that was just brilliant. So yeah, it was pretty sad that, the Menonists, as Charlie refers to them, reverse sexism, had to get all balled up because they're doing regular showings at the same time. They're just doing one that happens to be for women only. And then to piss the Menonists off further, they decided to add a second women's only showing. And not that I care. I wouldn't go to a women's only showing of Wonder Woman. I'm going to see it with 3 of my best friends who are men, but it's just ridiculous. These trolls on the internet. It's like the same kind of assholes who have a problem when the lead character in Battlefront 2 is a chick, right? Like, who cares? We talk about this a lot on the podcast, right, Todd?
And we
about
should.
The men of the gaming community who have issues, and then you end up with Gamergate.
Oh, God. But, I mean, we should talk about this because, quite honestly, the majority of people podcasting are white dudes. So, I love to hear anybody else's, and even you and I have, argued about stuff about, the great Wonder Woman, the company that was, behind, a product for Wonder Woman. I'm like, it doesn't bother me, but it bothered you.
So. You and I had a big argument about that, too.
But, I mean, it doesn't, just because it doesn't bother me, doesn't mean it's not.
It doesn't tear us
else.
apart, Todd.
Right.
No. And this is, because hell, I give Charlie so much shit. I'm surprised he doesn't hate me for life, but it's what it is.
Oh, and I never give him any shit.
Oh, no, not at all. Hashtag slutty eyeballs, as we've said. But yeah, I mean, this is important to bring this stuff up, and it's funny because it's always we always consider certain people they call out snowflakes, but yet the other group that's calling out the snowflakes are acting like snowflakes because they want to be special too. I don't know.
I mean, if you're that threatened by women playing video games, either you have a tiny, tiny penis, or you are just you have the most fragile masculinity ever.
Definitely.
That's all there is to it.
When I saw the story, I kind of got a giggle, and I thought it was kind of cool. Now, I can also see the other side, where if I wanted to see the first screening and it was women only, that'd be kind of
But that's not what it is. They're having other screenings at the same time.
Oh. Well, yeah, then that's silly.
Quit your whining.
I think it's cool. No, I think it's cool.
Yes.
I just think there's less things to be worried about. No one is,
Exactly. This is not a hot issue.
No.
Whereas Charlie would call it a hot take.
Hot take, yes. I mean, there's things to be upset about in the real world, and there's just things because we're bored and we have nothing better to do and Facebook exists that I'm going to just spend the next 2 hours of my life debating about this with somebody.
Yes, keyboard warriors.
God almighty.
And I have heard that it's getting really good reviews, so I'm excited to see it.
I'm feeling more hopeful. As Todd knows, I've never been particularly excited about any of the, even from the beginning when they cast her. I think she's stunning and lovely, but I don't think she's Wonder Woman. Right. And Wonder Woman is very beloved to me in terms of like knowing a ton about her history and her roots and everything else. And so I really was not feeling good about it. So the fact that there's even any positive reviews coming in is making me feel better. And I'm seeing it on Thursday, so I'll know soon enough.
And Chris Pine, there you go.
Yeah, Barber's got a huge man crush on Chris.
It's funny that the person I thought would have made the best Wonder Woman, unfortunately, is already Lady Sif in Thor.
Jamie Alexander.
Yeah, which is
she would have been great.
And Adrienne Palicki was also cast as the Wonder Woman in a TV show that failed by the creator of Ally McBeal. That was supposed to be a show that happened, and she would have been a good as well in that role. I mean, yeah.
Not from an acting standpoint, but from a look standpoint. You know who Gina Carano is?
Oh God, yes. I mean, she's.
But I mean, at least physically.
Yeah, but you know what? I've always said this about Wonder Woman. She's a goddess, so she doesn't actually have to be big to have the power of a god within her. I mean, you think about Athena.
Of course.
Athena's a god.
But think about how Wonder Woman's always been represented.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, but she's never been... I mean, I guess I've never seen her where she's definitely physically imposing. Typically taller, yes, but never built like, the guns or whatever like that. Kind of like Superman.
Linda Carter wasn't...
No.
Linda Carter's hot, though.
Oh, yeah. Definitely hot. I mean, I think
she's still hot.
I mean, I think Christopher Reeve. That dude... unfortunately was not like, he wasn't even up to the level of like an Arrow, physical fitness wise, but he just had an air about him. And the fact is that he didn't have to be like the Mountain from Game of Thrones to be imposing, because literally he is a solar battery. So regardless of his physical form, it's the fact that he's got basically a nuclear battery inside of him that creates the power. So
okay, stop inserting your logic into my life.
I just think she's I think she's a you've got a Greek goddess, so she can come up with a weird accent, and I bet nobody else on the island has that accent except for her.
She's Israeli.
Yeah. I know, but
that's an Israeli accent.
I know, but I'm not sure if anybody else on that island will have the same accent as she does.
Because she's from Israel.
But she's from Themyscira, and everybody else is. Shouldn't they have the same accent?
So just because you don't recognize it as an Israeli accent,
but
you're okay with it.
But the other Amazons...
Ask the Jewish girl!
But if
Todd says they all fucking sound the same.
Exactly. If the other Amazons...
Talking about white privilege.
If the other Amazons don't have the same accent, it doesn't make any sense anyways, right?
Dear God. Okay, moving on.
Yes. Oh, well. So...
the Amazons are a diverse culture.
Exactly. Of all women. Yes.
I'm going to make the turtle shell comment again.
Mixed metaphors and oddities. I don't know anything about women, as my wife would tell you, Lisa. Well, Larry, anything you're geeking out about this week?
I'm geeking out over the fact that I picked up Thumper, and it's fantastic in horrible... or more specifically, it's horrible in fantastic ways or fantastic in horrible ways. Take your pick. But, oh my god, I've had so much fun with Thumper.
I've heard really good things about the game. It's already been on PS4, it's on VR, and it's also on the Switch now.
Yep.
It is?
I picked it up on Switch. Yeah, it came out on Switch last week. I picked it up earlier today. And the only thing that I can describe it as, and I know they use the term rhythm violence, but that doesn't begin to do it justice. It's like this game grabs you by the nuts and hate fucks your anxiety in the eye.
Wow!
Game of the year. That's your box score, right, Larry? Oh my god!
Holy!
It's every little weird nuance thing that makes this game puts you on edge. It's the fact that watching your little scarab fly down the track, it doesn't just smoothly ride. It's jittering, it's anxious, it's paranoid. It's the fact that the music is this very dark industrial thing, and as you're hitting the notes, they're not quite on the beat, on the rhythm that you would expect them to be. So everything is just a half moment off of what you think it should be.
Which makes you anxious.
It finds every way to mess with you. It is a rhythmic rail ride of anxiety-inducing existential horror nightmare fuel.
Wow, that's a quote right there.
It's a family favorite, and I couldn't get enough.
My wife can't watch it for more than 30 seconds without getting nauseous, but I'm loving every last bit of it. It's really, really fantastic. It is.
And the fact is, with the Switch, you're basically, I mean, if you're playing it on the go, you're holding the screen literally probably, less than 12 inches from your face, which is akin to, VR.
At our age, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get the bifocals, the trifocals, why not?
I've been playing it on my TV just so that I can, blast the sound, because I really do like it. It has that definitively dark, sparse, industrial feel to the soundtrack, and I'm digging every little bit of it.
All right,
That's
I already
awesome.
had my goth phase, so I think I'm okay.
Well, Lisa, unfortunately, the Switch has been stolen away from her as her kids took it away this weekend. But how much is it? Is it $20?
$20.
Oh,
It's cheap.
that's a great steal. That's a price equivalent, I assume, to what it was on PS4, anyways, which is a good deal.
Yeah, I don't know what it came in at on PS4, but yeah, I would easily justify it at $20, if not a little more, which we'll know by the time I'm done with it, and then I write a review for it, because we don't do our reviews with 10-point scale. We do the dollar.
It's named after a Bambi character. What could be that?
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was funny, Larry, you bring that up, because there was a great debate about a certain game that was released, Ultra Street Fighter 2, blah, 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 on Switch, which was $40, and people were like, oh, why do you put a value on games? I'm like, because there's a million games in the world, and what should you buy? Money isn't unlimited, so you make decisions based on what you can afford and what the value is, and the fact is that that game was already released primarily on other systems for $20, and then you put it on the Switch for $40? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be realistic. I know the Switch, I think, is honestly taking advantage, unfortunately, of the fact is that it's got a limited library at this time. There's not really a fighting game on it, except eventually that one cool little Neo Geo Pocket-like color game is going to come out, which looks really cool. I can't remember what it's called, but I mean, it'll be fun when that comes out. But yeah.
We'll discuss fighting games on the Switch when we get to the E3 stuff.
Exactly. So Thumper, check it out based on Larry's kind of scary recommendation. For me, I played the Test Punch. I got an hour in before we
did too.
Hate you.
It's weird because I played it with the little Joy-Cons. You hold them sideways, which is kind of weird to begin with, and I used the motion control. I sucked at it, but I had fun. I actually won some matches. It was fun. One of the things that sucks is there's the modes they had was basically 2-on-2, basically 1v1, but with 3 players. So basically it was 3 players and you were versus each other, which sucked because once somebody gets behind you, it's really hard to navigate behind them or to turn them because you're auto-locked onto one player. So I kind of felt like once somebody's behind me, I'm screwed. That sucks.
Yeah, if you're monkey in the middle, you're boned.
Yeah, it sucked. But there was
That's the other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you catch there's a way to switch who you're targeted to?
No.
Uh-huh. That was part of my complaint with the Test Punch is that there's a lot of crucial information and how to make this a workable experience. It's not in the tutorial that should be right up front. I told my wife, I'm like, it's just like you. It would be so much better if it just told you this shit right up front instead of making you beg for it.
Wow.
So what are we talking about?
She rolled her eyes and I said, am I wrong? No.
Yeah, that's what's being great about being married. Sometimes, yeah, we don't communicate. Communication is excellent with your loved ones. This is ARMS. This is the Test Punch. This is basically their global test fire, like with Splatoon. This is this weekend and next weekend. It's hour shots, which kind of sucks because it's only an hour long. Originally, I thought it was all day long, but it's not.
I thought it was all weekend.
It's only all weekend, but in hour spurts, Lisa. So. Yeah, and then you have to figure out.
Sounds like my love life.
And it's
I'm kidding. I don't have a love life.
Yeah, you've got it on your Outlook calendar. Look at my windows. Oh, I missed it. Damn it. Oh,
Yep.
well. Foiled again. Plenty of fish. You suck. But it was fun. But, I mean, what I did have fun. It felt like a lot like Power Stone is the best way to put this. Except you weren't throwing things, but you're in an arena and you're small and you can, with other players, and you can use the environment to move around. But I'm not a huge fan of motion controls, and this was heavily motion controlled. You can do it with the Pro Controller in other ways, but I don't know, just felt a little wonky. But it was fun, and I played the volleyball mode, which was a lot of fun. The 2v2.
Did you feel like you were in Side Out? Do you remember Side Out?
Kinda like Side Out, yeah. You basically got the ball, you hit it, you gotta try to hit it just right, and it was fun. I like that mode. The 2v2 mode is fun. You're kind of tethered together like an umbilical cord, and you can't get too far away from each other, but you can hit each other, which I hate. I absolutely hate friendly fire. This game has it, so. But it's fun. You select your variables. Basically, you have 3 different arm types to select between your character type. They don't have all the characters selectable, but it was fun. So,
which characters did they have for the Test Punch?
So it was Springman, Ribbon Girl, the Ninja Guy that has chains for hands, the Mummy, the Mech Girl,
What about the Flubber Guy?
the Ramen,
Yes.
the Ramen
The
chick,
Flubber Guy?
and the Flubber Guy. Yes, we're all there.
The Flubber Guy.
Yeah.
The Ramen chick looks cool. She's like the only
She is.
character. Yeah.
She was cool, and she had the dragon hands and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And I'm finding when I was the Mummy Guy, it was great. I rocked the house.
I just
Other
want to be a
characters, not
Flubber
so
Guy.
much. Yeah, the Flubber Guy, he was not so great.
He's green jelly.
Yeah, he's very green jelly.
I like him in principle, but playing as him was a little rough comparatively.
It didn't feel great. Yeah, it didn't feel great.
No,
This
it
one
didn't.
weird like blooper thing.
He's Flubber. What were you thinking was going to happen?
I don't know. I
Naughty
was. Yeah. No, I was hoping more for like the wacky wavy arm inflatable arm guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy that's like,
Yeah. I just want to see him running around the screen going. "Woo!"
Yeah. It was.
now you sound like Zoidberg.
It's great. At least they're doing 2 weekends because we know there's going to be opportunities where you don't get to play. But it was fun. Check it out. For me, it's enough to say that it's a rental. It's a game where it's not my thing. I just feel without a campaign, I just can't get into it. So, but I know a lot of people will go nuts and will say this is the best thing ever since sliced bread because #Nintendo.
No, I'm not that excited about it. I told you, what was my description? Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
something else had a bastard love
Punch
child.
Out,
I don't remember.
maybe?
Punch Out.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Punch Out.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, that wraps it up for Geekin' It Easy. I think everyone, it's time to get into the main meat of this podcast, the Thunderdome, where we check out our E3 predictions.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Thank you, Tina. We are in the Thunderdome. All of us have entered. Hopefully, all of us leave. This week's Thunderdome is all about E3 predictions. We actually put these out to the Facebook group, and we've got some actual predictions from there as well. So we'll layer those in as we hit them. But basically, we're doing third party, 1 prediction each. Nintendo, if you've got more, that's fine. You can add them in. Microsoft and Sony. So we will do this kind of like Fantasy Draft Snake version. So we will start off with our Lady Lovely Locks, Lysa.
Oh, I get to start? We all know how much I love homework.
Oh, yes, you do. Apparently, you're probably 25% usually on time and deliver.
I think that's generous.
That's true. Yes. So what
They
do you
give me
think?
homework and I'm like, oh,
And you
God,
can go
it's not
anywhere. You can
required.
start. It's your lady's choice. You can start with Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, or third party, and we'll go from there.
No, I'm going to start with Nintendo because really that's my wheelhouse, right? I think, the interesting thing about Nintendo at E3, we're just getting to that point now where Breath of the Wild's starting to wane, right? Everybody's been playing the hell out of it. It's not like we have so many choices on the Switch, so we really need them to do something, talk about something, because they can't ride on the Breath of the Wild coattails forever. I think the interesting thing that I keep hearing in my vote is going to be one of 2 things. I think either we're going to hear about a Metroid game or Pokemon Stars, which is pretty likely. I think with the success of Mario Kart being ported to the Switch and them adding stuff, they kind of realized that, that people want their favorite game, let's say, the experience of playing it on the Switch. So the other thing I wonder about is, are we going to get a Super Smash Brothers Special Edition? You know, in the same way that they did Mario Kart 8 with the DLC, I would love to be able to play Super Smash Brothers on the Switch. So, fingers crossed. I don't know if that's going to happen, but as far as, you know, my prediction, I think the big news will be Pokemon Stars, which is like an amalgamation of Sun and Moon. I don't particularly care about Pokemon, so, you know, my kids will be excited. I know there are a lot of people who love Pokemon who are part of the SFU group, so I'm not going to trash it, but it's like I don't get excited about it, right? I don't care. I played Pokemon Go for like 2 seconds. I would really like to see more about Mario Odyssey. We got a nice long wait till that comes out. And we'll see. That's my Nintendo feeling. I think we can probably bank on Pokemon being their big linchpin at E3.
What's the game you most want on Switch, or at least Nintendo?
Right now, knowing that Mario Odyssey is not until holiday, right? Isn't that when it's coming?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If I had a choice, I would want a new Super Smash Brothers for Switch. I love that game, but I love fighting games. You know, I'm not a
lover,
shooters.
a fighter.
No, well, regardless, I just happen to enjoy that game.
Nice.
I want to fight.
Nice.
But you can't say I love fighters because I'm not all that excited about ARMS.
There you too.
It's not just about the beatdown.
It's not. It's about the cuddly characters getting nasty with each other.
Right.
Yes? Yes. Larry, Nintendo. What do you got?
First off, I just want to say that I've just had a revelation. I think the actual story of ARMS we find out when you beat the game is that it all fades out and suddenly it's Dalshim wakes up and he was just having a fever LSD dream.
He's smoking the hashish in Bombay. Yes. Dulcie.
Got it.
Oh my god.
Twist ending, directed by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Wakes up in the
jeez.
shower.
There's a twist!
Twist? Yes.
Nintendo prediction is that we don't see much of anything that we don't already know about. I think they've got their big solid line of stuff for now to the rest of the year, which includes ARMS, Splatoon, Mario Odyssey, and I think they're going to pimp the hell out of Skyrim because it's a big opportunity for them. Other than that, I think we hear I think we get concrete information on the online service and virtual console. I'm not going to go as far as to say that they're going to say virtual console available now, go. Because I think the other thing is that we're going to see a whole lot of indie stuff from them because the Switch has been just a bloody epic Switch indie machine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, they've even had some that are kind of exclusive, and the ones that fit have been pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't think there'll be any, like, virtual console news around Splatoon? Because isn't it July, Splatoon?
It's
Yep,
July,
Splatoon's
yeah.
July.
Yeah. So,
I still don't get why they didn't call it Splatoon.
Yeah, oh god, believe me, I made that argument forever ago. So
It's
that
a kid-friendly first-person shooter, is what it really is.
exactly, it is. My son really enjoyed it, and he was good at it, and yeah.
I had a ton of fun with it. It was just the perfect amount of 3-minute match. Now another one. Do it again.
Yeah. I kind of wish they
So.
let you choose the map, though. That was the biggest, I think, downfall. That for 2 hours you got to play the same map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Actually, I think there was a sound logic in that because
sure.
honestly, any shooter where you can choose the map, you end up with 2 maps out of all of them that
Yeah.
get played online, and everything else gets left behind.
that's true. And it drives you to get to know the maps, so it should drive familiarity and you get better at it. But yeah, I just kind of felt like, I didn't like that one anyways. And I mean, there's the voting method that potentially could raise the thought, but to your point, Larry, yep, everybody could vote for the same one over and over again. So there you go. Scott, what do you have on Nintendo?
Well, I don't have a Nintendo Switch right now, but not so much predictions.
Is that your prediction
but
you're gonna get a Switch?
I'm gonna get a Switch.
He's gonna steal somebody's.
Oh my goodness.
Two things I'm hoping for. Well, when I heard that they were gonna stop manufacturing that Nintendo Classic, my hopeful thought is that they did that because they're gonna start making those games available through the Nintendo Store that you could play on the Switch. So that's my hope. I don't know. I've heard nothing about that, but wishful thinking. And then I would love to see them announce a Donkey Kong game for the Switch.
Like Mario, like Donkey Kong Country?
Something like that, yeah. I love Donkey Kong Country, so I'd love to see them release a Donkey Kong Country sequel or a new, fresh take on it or something.
They've kind of missed the mark with those Donkey Kong games.
Yeah. They're the Dark Souls of platformers. Oh my god, they're ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
You get two balloons. Come on, give me 3.
I never felt like they missed the mark with the last couple of Donkey Kong countries, though. I thought
they were fun, but I didn't think they were fun enough.
Oh, I enjoyed them, but
I hated them.
You don't like them?
I mean, I enjoyed them. I just didn't feel the
Todd
control.
hates everything. Have you figured this out yet?
I didn't think the control was that great. I thought the control felt very wonky and didn't have the precision of the very wonky.
Wonky Kong?
Wonky Kong. Donkey Kang, as you know, the question on Jeopardy, I believe the woman got wrong.
Kang.
Yes.
Yep.
But I felt like it kind of felt a little janky, like a little floaty, little imprecise. So the fact is, you only got like 2 hearts versus other games where you used to get 3. It felt like it was just very punishing, and I kind of like, give me a baby mode then, so I can at least enjoy it versus I get frustrated and give up, and I did. And I played, I beat Mega Man, all the stuff in the past, and I just don't have the patience to play it for 85 hours.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. It's just limited time, I think. Give me a baby mode. I'm fine with that. Like 3D World had the baby mode where it's like, you fail like 5 times, makes you invulnerable. And you can, hey, cool, awesome, thanks.
Nice.
Oh well, but yeah. Hey, as long as Rare's not making it, let Rare do other things. I'm fine with another Donkey Kong coming to the Switch.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You won't see Rare making it, all things considered.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, no, they can't. That's Microsoft owns them now.
Oh, sorry, Rare. I meant Retro.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute.
No,
we get
Retro.
Rare back?
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64 is coming back in HD, and Rare's making it. Nintendo bought them back. No, I was thinking Retro. Sorry, Retro. They've been.
We just got Todd's prediction.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm screwed. Yeah.
Scott needs a MAME so he can play all his retro games.
Oh boy.
I do.
Yeah, they have an awesome. By the way, you can get a cool little Nintendo NES-like case for the Switch or for the Raspberry Pi for like $20 now. So
yeah,
that's where you should spend your money. For me, really quick, very simple. I'm going to say that I think we're going to get a tease for Metroid, but nothing really truly revealed for this year, but probably 2018. I think we're going to see, and hopefully, if it's a 2D version of a Metroid, they reach out to either a Yacht Club Games or a Drinkbox studio to make a proper Metroid 2D game. We haven't had one of those in a long time. I think it's time that we have those. People would love it, and it works on Switch. It doesn't have to be a huge 3D game to work on Switch. We know that. So I could see that happening. I would love it. And the other thing I would like to see is, yes, we're probably going to get GameCube games on Virtual Console, but I would love HD versions of certain games that were on GameCube coming to Switch. Eternal Darkness, because that is a game that's highly mature, but probably hasn't aged that well. But I think it's doing so many unique things compared to other Nintendo games that I think it deserves a updated treatment. Dennis Dyack was behind that game. He's got nothing better to do, and he has been trying to make a sequel to that game anyways. He made Twin Snakes on GameCube back in the day. Give him that, and just make a better version of Eternal Darkness. But also maybe a collection of Mario 3D games. You get N64, Mario 64, and Mario Sunshine HD versions versus just the Virtual Console versions. I think those
Mario
games...
Sunshine sucks.
Because, no, I love Mario Sunshine. I loved it.
Oh, no!
No, it had issues with camera, but I think the fact that it had a hub world, was open world, and you had the tank mechanic, I really liked that. But there was a lot of... I felt like it was a rushed game, so if they could take the time to make it a much better game, put it in HD, it'd be a lot of fun.
You know what I would want from GameCube? Can you guess? Really?
Animal Crossing?
Fuck no!
Then I don't know.
We're gonna get
Luigi's
Animal
Mansion!
GameCube, and that's how we get our Virtual Console.
Luigi's Mansion makes so much sense to just create a sequel to that game, because they already have one, like they've a...
Game gets no love, and it needs love.
It came out on 3DS, and they also have
and
they have a 3D. They have an arcade version at Dave and Buster's. Why not?
Excuse me, I'm the one who was like posting when I went to Dave and Buster's. I took my kids, and they had the you can sit in it Luigi's Mansion game. I flipped out. We played the hell out of that game. It was so fun playing it at Dave and Buster's. I wanted to bring it home.
It's a lot of fun.
I'd love a Luigi's Mansion game on the Switch.
Let's see, and we actually had some folks from the community. They said they want... Ricky J. Hamilton said he wants a Metroid dual titles on Switch and 3DS, like Prime and Fusion on GameCube and GBA. And why not? I mean, you could do another side-scrolling on 3DS and then make a 3D game on Switch, for all I care. But I just want more Metroid.
Give you a why not.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not be this? It's a terrible idea in this regard. If you put it on 3DS, a platform that as much as they want to prop it up right now, look at where all the attention is going. I don't think it bodes well, and if we get another one, if we get a proper one, and they put it out on a platform that's no longer in the gamer favor, in the sales thing on it, we will never see another again. And as it stands, we're fighting hard enough to try and get one now.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I think I'm all in on all hands on Switch. Abandon the 3DS ship as soon as possible. Why not? They've got 70 million 3DSs out there. They're fine with that huge library. Move everybody over to Switch.
I don't disagree, but you do have to consider, from the perspective of my kids, my son is super excited to get the new Fire Emblem game on the DS, the 3DS. So, I mean, to you and I, sure, we don't care about it, but there is still that 13-year-old demographic that wants games for it.
Yeah, but the 3DS is 6 years old. I mean, it typically...
Trust me, I'm not into it. I mean...
And it's fine. There's been there's multiple. There's a new 3DS Fire Emblem game coming out on 3DS. Or did it come out already?
It came out last week.
Yeah, exactly. So they've had so many games coming on 3DS already. I just kind of feel like that library is enough to say you've got a lot of great games, and we're going to have more come out. But I think it's time to move on because that system was dated the day it came out. Even the upgrades, it's still very dated. But hey. My son has 3DS as well, so what can I say?
I think we have 4 of them floating around here.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, they give them out with kids when they go to elementary school, Lisa. You know that.
They're going to be in Happy Meals soon.
Exactly, exactly. So we move on to Microsoft, Lisa. What do you got?
Oh, Microsoft. That's Bill Gates' nickname. Is there any question that Microsoft is pretty much just going to talk about Project Scorpio?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say? I think that there's a possibility they'll talk about some as of yet unknown exclusive game, maybe? I don't know. I'm guessing they're going to discuss Middle-earth Shadow of War?
Mordor, yep.
Yeah, or whatever it's called. I don't even know. But I wouldn't even take a stab at anything other than Project Scorpio. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I'm, as everybody knows, not particularly inclined to play anything these days other than Nintendo stuff. I would like to, but with kids in my house, I never get to. So, you know, I have very little to say about the topic.
Okay, but to put you on point, what do you think the price will be on Scorpio?
Oh, 400.
Wow, okay.
I do.
That's a smart pick.
I think it'll be more expensive than the Switch. I mean, you know, how can you hype something that's like the most powerful console ever and then have it be $200? Not gonna happen.
Or $1,000, which nobody
that's not gonna happen either. Nobody would buy it.
Exactly.
I'm curious to hear what everybody else has to say about the price, but there's no way in hell it's not gonna be under 300, and
Nope.
it's not gonna be over 5. So.
Well, several months ago, I was reading some things that were putting it anywhere between like $6.99 and $7.99. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna spend that.
I posted a link that the PC equivalent with all the components is probably close to a $900 to $1,000 PC, but nobody will pay that on console.
A console.
No,
Right.
no. The most people have paid for
Not
a
when you could
console-
build a PC.
Exactly, and a console has not been successful for under $400. Xbox One with the Kinect did it horribly. They removed the Kinect to get to that price point. PlayStation 3 said, launching at $599 US, and was met with deaf ears. And until that console got affordable, it didn't do well. So consoles are different than PC. You got to get the price right, or nobody will care.
Well, I mean, it pained me to pay $300 for the Switch, especially because I knew it was really $360 with Breath of the Wild. Like,
Exactly.
you know, you can't even consider when something new like the Switch, brand new hardware, and you know you're going to have to buy the flagship game for it. You got to kind of just bake that into the price.
Exactly. Or you get
So it's not a $300 console; it's a $360 console.
Yeah, and you get all the extra accessories. You probably spent more than that. So yeah.
Well, I haven't bought a Pro Controller yet, despite you nagging me about that.
God, you're probably waiting for those ugly neon Joy-Cons for $80.
I want the Splatoon one. The Splatoon Joy-Cons are cool.
God.
Come on!
It's the Play-Doh color scheme of
want the
neon
hot
the
pink
orange
one.
ones.
Oh my God.
I'm all about the hot
Okay,
pink one.
Scott, put us back to reality. We've got to get out of these Joy-Con discussions. What's your prediction for Microsoft?
Well, I'm thinking that they got to announce at least a few Xbox exclusive games. Seems like all the exclusives always go to PlayStation, so I'm thinking Xbox has to have some more exclusive games. I hear people complaining about it all the time. Or exclusive content. I know, well, one game I've kind of been following, which was originally supposed to release in December, and now it's slated for this December. I think when they don't know when it's going to release, they always just say, end of the year. End of the year.
Holiday.
Yeah,
But,
it gets a placeholder for 12/31, 2017. Yeah.
Mhm.
But and that's not my main console. I pretty much buy like Forza and Halo because you can't get them for PlayStation. But this game called Sea of Thieves, which is like an online pirate type of game, which looks cool, but I haven't heard anything about it. So I'm hoping that they announce something or have a trailer because it's kind of just been out there without a lot of news about it.
Yeah, that's
So-
rare.
There'll be Forza coverage without a doubt.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves, Rare, a studio title. It's their multiplayer game. It's going to be pirates. You get to control a ship, take out people, that kind of stuff.
Do you get to have a parrot?
Probably. Why not? Yeah.
If I can have a
course.
parrot, I'm in.
Any
Oh,
tall.
if there's no parrot, I'm out.
Yeah, if you could use.
Can I have a
Kinect-
wooden leg?
Yeah, of course.
You can pick your pair for $5.99 DLC companion.
Exactly.
Of course. The wooden leg, same thing.
And
I
you
have
get
to complete a bunch of side quests to get a wooden leg. God
and
damn
you
it.
get syphilis and chlamydia for no charge.
Well, you have to have the side quest for the wooden leg, otherwise you don't have any story event that triggered you to lose the leg in the first place.
That's true.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
The parrot ate it.
Exactly.
There you go.
And they have to get that damn parrot quest. Yeah. Yeah, Sea of Thieves, that's definitely, if they can release that this fall, that'll be something that'll be unique. And it's different. It's kind of like...
Something, yeah, exactly. Something different.
Yeah, because nobody else really has a first-party online game like that. Everybody else it's typically third-party that has that like a Destiny. So that's cool.
Larry, are you the Wolverine of lighters?
Oh my goodness.
If I could
Larry,
just get them all to light at once, it'd be fucking
you
spectacular.
gotta get one hand and do it at the same time. Yeah, you don't have enough
Right.
thumbs. Yeah, you don't have enough thumbs for that. Larry, what's yours prediction for Microsoft?
My prediction for Microsoft is that we get half a presentation about Scorpio, and they price it way too bloody high.
So you think my 400 is too low?
I'm thinking Scorpio lands between 5 and 6.
$5.50, $5.49.
Is the price is right?
Exactly. $1. Oh yeah.
I want the showcase.
No, I suspect Scorpio lands between 5 and 6.
Okay.
They spend half their show talking about it. They spend 40% of the show talking about third-party, non-exclusive games, acting like they are exclusive, and then the other 10% is split between Forza, Sea of Thieves, and maybe Crackdown 3, if we're lucky.
Oh yeah, it's got to come out. Yeah. That's the problem with
So it's going to
Microsoft
be
right
sad and disappointing.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
the
I've
problem.
never played Forza ever.
You shouldn't, unless Horizon. They just released the Hot Wheels DLC, which I heard is awesome.
My wife's been playing Forza, actually, Horizon 3. She really likes it.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's basically the new Burnout, except without the crash mode. So why not?
God, I wish they'd release a new Burnout game. That game was so fun.
Yeah, it's backwards
God,
compatible on Xbox One, Burnout Paradise, and that's a lot of fun too. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's out there if you want to buy it. It's dirt cheap, so that should be fun. So for me, let's see. I'm trying to look at see if anybody else in the group has anything on Xbox that's really out there. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Mark Carabin. Microsoft is going to release the specs, price, and release date of Scorpio, then spend the rest of the conference talking about TV shows and sports. So okay, that's his. I don't know about that. I think they really got nailed about talking about anything other than games previously, so I don't think they will. I think their head right now is on point. He's all about the games, so I think they're going to be set for that. I just don't know if they've got the games though to really just show their muscle. A certain person named Edward Varnell says Scorpio.
Who the hell is that dude?
I don't know. Yeah, he's struggling.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah, he's a little crackpot. We love him though. Scorpio 449. Shenmue 3 next spring. That's obviously a PlayStation game though. So there we go. Edward talking about Scorpio. Basically about your price as well, Larry. Although you're a little higher than Ed was. So, oh well.
I got a reason behind that high price, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, those components are pretty awesome.
It's not even about the components.
Nope, it's premium.
It's the fact that they're targeting a niche market. I've said it on our show that Scorpio is specifically aimed at the people that are on the bleeding edge of home entertainment and have the great big 4K TV and the 7.1 surround wired into the home and everything, and have all the money to blow on it. And so they will price it specifically to them, because they go, oh, look, that's the new expensive thing. That's the thing I should put in my home theater. And it does this 4K thing, and it does all the other things that, my TV does, so I can get the most out of the TV that I spent way too much bloody money on.
It's like the Corvette model for like Chevrolet. It's basically like we've got all these cheap cars, but then we've got the Halo car that brings people in. But quite honestly, there's not enough of those people to really move the bar, though. That's my problem. It's just like It's awesome, but it's like it's not going to change the fact that people just aren't buying Xbox the way they used to because the exclusives are just not that compelling anymore, and they're basically trying to recycle the Halos and the Forzas and those games, and they just haven't had a Gears-like explosion on Xbox One yet. Oh well. For me, I'm saying Xbox One S goes to $199, Scorpio's $499, or $399 with a 3-year Xbox Live subscription. Basically, tying you to that online piece. and they're basically saying we're going to give you basically a subsidy if you buy the Scorpio, which is fine because you're going to use Live anyways if you have that box. So it's just a way to maximize more cost up front. And then my other prediction is Xbox OG titles updated for HD. Crimson Skies, Mech Assault would be available.
Oh, Crimson Skies. That was a fun game.
Yeah, we haven't had a really combat arcadey type game, flight game in a long time. So why not? Yeah.
And Xbox the flight games that do come out are usually shitty. So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, you've got some flight in like a game like Battlefront, but not a lot. So yeah, I think it could be cool. No, why not?
That was a fun multiplayer game. Me and my friends, man, we'd play that for hours. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
that and bring back Blazing Angels.
Blazing Angels would be good. I mean, there's just
that was good, yeah.
Or even like Sony. I mean, and this is probably getting into my prediction, but there's certain flight games that from the first generation that have kind of been left behind, and I'm not sure why, but we can talk about that next with Sony. Lysa, what do you have with Sony?
Why do I always go first?
Well, because it's kind of round robin. You've had time to think about it.
I have?
Well, yeah, because we've been jawing and,
Sony. Let's see. What can I talk about that I know will get talked about? The Last of Us 2?
Okay.
They're going to talk about that, right?
Yep.
Because people love that game. Do you know I never played that game because somebody warned me off of it because they said I would cry my way through it.
You'll cry at the very opening of Last of Us. It's so...
That's what I hear.
As being a parent of a child, and you have
That's why I didn't play it. I can't do that stuff.
But it's over quickly, and you get in and you get to, kill lots of people.
Jesus, I can't even watch, the first couple minutes of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie without crying. And I'm, pretty tough.
You can always watch it online, right? And just determine, that's too much? Oh, well, moving on.
Because I want to make myself suffer for a game I'm then not going to play.
Do it for the podcast, Lysa. That's a new segment. Lysa cries.
Lysa cry for the podcast.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, but I like making Charlie cry. It's not about me.
Oh my god. Tell him there's no more Lego games.
Oh my god, he would completely weep like a...
Spider-Man's being killed.
Spider-Man's dead. He's not making any more Lego games, Charlie.
Yep.
I don't know Charlie that well. Is that, for real? He only plays,
He hates all games.
He only plays Lego games.
He plays the Lego versions of game. The Lego
Harry Potter Lego.
Yeah.
And Lego Avengers and Lego City, whatever.
And I try, and
he hates video games other than those.
And it's funny because he loves Walking Dead, and I try to get him to play the Telltale Walking Dead because it's awesome.
I have that too and haven't played it.
Oh my god, it was so hard to even get him to play one chapter of it, which is 3 hours long. I'm like, ugh.
But he loves Lego Dimensions.
Oh my god. And he'll watch 85. He'll watch Voyager for 85 seasons, and oh my god.
He'll see. He went and paid to see Chips.
Exactly. We love you, Charlie. We do.
We do love you, Charlie. We're only ragging on you because you're not here to defend yourself.
Oh boy. Okay, Lysa.
Bloody eyeballs.
Bloody
eyeballs and Lego. He's Lego boy all day long.
We'll let you off early. Easy. On that. Scott.
Are you talking about me? Oh, you letting me off the hook? Fine.
Yeah,
I have not. I had something to say, but I guess I won't say.
Go ahead. Go.
No, go out. By all means, Scott. The floor is yours.
Oh. Well, I know very few people that bought the VR, so I'm thinking they're going to promote the hell out of VR and new content that's coming out for the VR. Probably the Star Wars Battlefront 2 that's coming out. I'm thinking that's probably going to be a big emphasis. They'll probably announce a few new games, but I think it's going to be VR focused because, like I said, I don't know many people that are buying it, to be honest.
I think that might be why they won't be so focused on it. Just a hunch.
Yeah,
they're going to pull a Vita.
They're going to pull a Vita?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what I think they'll talk about? Not a lot, but I think they're going to talk about Spider-Man too, because of the movie coming out.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Larry, what you got?
Spider-Man?
Sony show. I'm calling, like Lisa said, plenty of talk of the new Spider-Man game because they get to pimp that because that's an exclusive. I think we get a
And
date
people want
on...
that game, too.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Right.
I think we get a date, and it is somewhere between holiday this year and spring next year for God of War. I think they say absolutely nothing about Shenmue 3. I think they go, yeah, that Final Fantasy VII thing is a thing that still exists, but don't look over there too hard at it. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is still this many years not to be seen again, and they're not going to talk about it, and they're not going to pretend that it exists. Yeah, I think, though, one of you is right. They are either going to double down on VR, or I really think, honestly, more likely, they're going to pull a Vita. I think that they go, and we have this VR thing, and you can buy it if you want. I don't think they push it that hard, and it just goes away.
You think they'll price drop it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Because that would be admitting the fact that it's a failure. I think they just let it drift off quietly into the night.
I can see that. I might be one of the... I feel like with all the hype about VR, I literally could care less. Like, it just does not interest me at all.
It's not my thing. I'd rather kick back and chill without this big headset on. And
I feel like I'm going to throw up and get a headache, and like I don't even drink that much. I don't want to be hungover from playing a game. Plus, who wants to stumble around looking like a half-wit?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I will say, I've played some VR. There was some neat stuff to it. Just, I think there's a massive barrier to entry, and that is money, money, money.
But not just that. You said there's some neat stuff in it. Don't you think it's kind of a novelty?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
Like, I would go do it somewhere, but I don't want to own it.
Yep. Because the setup that thing requires is obnoxious.
Yeah, you can't have any furniture in your room, or you're going to end up with bruised shins.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's the sensory stuff that you have to put up around it, too, to wire up to make the whole thing work. Holy balls. Yeah. It is...
Holy beard.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's like 3D. I mean, anything like... Sony told us 3D is the new thing. You have to have it, but quite honestly, it's a nice to have, but it's the barrier to entry is really high. I mean, it costs as much, the VR costs as much as a PS4 Pro, so it's basically telling us that, and that's the cheapest version of VR as we have it today, and it's the most successful version. So, but the problem with PS VR as well, the Move controllers suck. That's old technology. It doesn't have like the Oculus Touch controllers and things like that are much more precise. You're still reliant on the PlayStation Move camera to track you, the PlayStation whatever we're calling it, the camera to track you based on those little balls of light. So when you turn around, you really don't get full movement in VR, which is a big barrier as well. So I think it's nice, but I mean, hey, people that love it, that have it, love it, and that's the problem. There's no major store or franchise that actually has PSVR for you to try out either, so it's kind of like seeing is believing, and until they have it available everywhere at Targets and things like that, I think people are going to be slow to adopt the technology. Right. Yeah.
And like Lisa said, I think it is a novelty. Like, I'll mention my dad again because he's the only person I know that has it.
Yeah, and I don't know anybody that has it either locally.
Can we all go to your dad's house and try it?
that's
party dads.
VR party, yeah. Yeah, and quite honestly,
I mean, he'll play...
Cool, thanks, bye.
Horizon Zero Dawn for hours and hours, but when he plays the VR, it's like 45 minutes, and it's cool, and then I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, it's something you can't share with others unless you're basically taking it off your head. There's some things where you can, there's like a dual screen, we call it experience, where the person on the VR headset has one thing in front of him, and everybody else has something else. There's like a game, I believe it's called Don't Talk or Don't Panic or something like that. Basically, it's about the person that's wearing the VR has to like disable a bomb, and he has to tell you through the VR what you need to do as other people with controllers to make sure the bomb doesn't blow up. Which is kind of cool.
It still sounds like a novelty, though. Like,
It
you do
is.
it once, I'm
Yeah.
not going to play that repeatedly.
Yeah, there's other games that are kind of fun, and they're kind of priced accordingly, like $15 experience and things like that. But yeah, there's no like Wii Sports. There's no like Just Dance
God.
type experience yet. That's making people excited about it on a wide level.
Dude,
So,
I play Just Dance all the time.
yeah, no, I don't. Oh well. For me, Siphon Filter is finally announced for PS4. That series is kind of like the Splinter Cell. It's kind of like the cool spy game for PlayStation that's been gone for a long time. Completely missed the PS3, I believe. So that'd be kind of cool if that came back. And then the PS4 Pro it tentatively goes to $299, and regular PS4 goes to $199 to combat all of the Scorpio stuff. So that's my thoughts. So I guess we'll see in the group on Sony. Let's see, we've got a new Siphon Filter from Moose Cool. He also said Bloodborne 2. Lee Alexander says Days Gone is actually going to come out this fall, and he thinks that God of War is coming out spring 2018. Let's see who else is out there. Mark Carabin is saying Sony's going to show off the best game trailer ever and say the game is coming next year. We'll play that game in the mid-2030s. Mark, you are a Nintendo-holic. Stop drinking the juice. Sorry, buddy, but you are all over that. And then Sean Church says we'll see the less of us two played on stage, and he thinks that Sony will cave to EA and allow PS users to get EA access. Dave Latowski says, I predict they'll show us more of Kingdom Hearts 3, and yet never release it, sadly.
2030.
I know. Oh, my goodness. Let's see, then Konami, next game for Switch. Let's see. I'm trying to think else. That's it, I think, for the PlayStation.
Oh, well, for Sony, what about a new trailer or a date for Death Stranding?
I hope they don't show that game. I mean, knowing Kojima, that game is not ready until probably 2020, the earliest. Because he takes like 5 years to make a game. So I just want him to go away until that game is ready. If he brings out, Daryl again on stage, or somebody else, Guillermo del Toro in a cutscene, I'm going to puke because, quite honestly, that game just looks like insanity personified on screen. Oh my god. Oh well. So, last is third party. This is basically anybody who makes games for the systems, but don't own the systems. So, Lisa, do you have one?
I'm sorry, I'm being accosted by a cat at the moment.
So you're looking for cat babies from Ubisoft?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
At least she's not showing you her butt this time.
That's true.
Historically, my cat likes to show her butt on the podcast, so
Yes.
just put it right in front of the camera. It looks like that.
Okay, cat babies from Lisa. We'll go with that. Then we'll go with Larry. Any predictions on third party?
Yep. I think they're all going to look really stupid because they're all looking at Nintendo going, that thing's doing really well. We need to get on board with that shit, and they don't have anything ready, so they start throwing up logos all over the place. You see no trailers, no gameplay. You see tons of logos.
So the prediction is logos and Imagine
Logo
Babies
Palooza.
for Switch. The Imagine series comes back. Oh my goodness. What about Babysitting Mama for Switch, Lisa?
I have that game.
Oh my goodness. Put
I
your
do,
Switch.
the one where you shove the Wiimote into the baby.
Now you put the Switch
That
in
is
the
like
baby.
a real thing.
Put the Switch in the baby. Oh my
And
goodness.
if you shake the baby, you lose.
Don't switch the baby. Oh my god.
Are you guys, like, seriously, have you seen, it's a stuffed baby. I could go grab it right now.
No, don't do
I've
that.
seen
Stuffed
this.
baby,
Yes.
and it literally has a hole on its backside that you shove the Wiimote in so that the baby is motion controlled. I have Cooking Mama, too. I have children.
Okay, pro tip for parents: if you have a baby, don't shove things in them because that will not end.
And
well.
don't shake the baby because
Don't
you'll
shake
lose.
the baby. Exactly. So, and if you're gonna have babies, don't because you're probably not ready for it anyways. Oh well. The more
Too
you
late,
know
I already
from
had
Secret
some.
Friends. Oh well. So, Scott, any
Not
Yes.
need to
Secret
edit
Friends
in that
Unite
little
Gamecast.
star thing going
yes,
across
the more you know. Do. Do. Scott, any third-party recommendations for you?
Jeez. I don't know. I'd love to see a new Diablo, but I don't know that they're even thinking about doing another Diablo game.
No,
I would
they
hope
just-
so.
They just keep updating it for
Yeah.
console. It's pretty great on console, but yeah, they keep updating it.
I still play it, but a new one would be cool.
Yeah.
But probably not.
How about that Final Fantasy remake?
Oh my god, that's never coming out. That's coming out in 2085. Oh my god.
Just thought I'd throw
Kingdom
that in there.
Hearts. There hasn't been like a Kingdom Hearts since like 2002. Holy shit! Come on, get
We'll
it
file
together.
both of those games under "Don't Hold Your Breath."
Oh my god. For
You'll
me,
turn-
my third-party announcement is Sega announces Skies of Arcadia HD. Because why not? Because that game was on GameCube and Dreamcast, both systems that underperformed, and that game is awesome. So please do that, Sega. Because what else are you gonna do? Make a Sonic game? Nobody cares.
Ugh.
Oh my god. Oh well. Let's see. Edward Varnell says Konami next game for Switch is a Silent Hill reboot. Oh my goodness. And he also says that Fia is coming to Switch with Unravel, and Monster Hunter is also coming to Switch and 3DS. We all know Ed loves Switch. Oh well. And then Mark Carabin says that, let's see.
Look at all these Nintendo heads.
I know, God almighty. Oh yeah.
I like them.
Let's see. Anything else third party from the other group? I would say, I think that's it. Oh well. So you know what? I will judge you all based on the accuracy of predictions on our future E3 episode, Lisa. So I'm writing these down. So Lisa, you can taunt them when they get them wrong on that episode.
Okay, well, we all know I live to taunt anyone for anything.
Yeah.
so-
Exactly. So
Shut up, Scott.
I never noticed that.
No. So E3's coming up mid-June, so get excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to see a lot of cool announcements. It's basically gamer Christmas, so be ready, be prepared, and, you know,
So
hey,
many logos.
it's going to be awesome. So with that, pimp your stuff. We'll start with Scott. Scott, where can we find you on Twitter, podcasting, website, or, you know...
Well, I have a Twitter I'm not that active with, but on PlayStation and Xbox One, same gamer tag, Jedi RN72. 90% of the time I'm on PlayStation Network. I spend some time on Xbox One, but again, mostly with Forza and Halo 1.
Right.
And I am going to be starting a podcast with a buddy of mine from Illinois, I believe. And we're going to cover a little bit of video games, but then also movies, TV, and sports. So a little bit of everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You lost me at sports.
Yeah.
Lots of
know-
hockey.
Yeah, I love talking sports, so if you ever need somebody to talk about sports, call me up. Awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely let
For
us know, and obviously post all your crap in the Secret Friends group, because we'd love to hear what you're doing.
Yep,
Just don't
will do.
call me for sports.
For sure.
Exactly. Larry, how about you?
Always find me. Tune into our show, World 11. You can find us on shoutengine.com, where we're hosted, also listed up on iTunes and Google Play Music, DNA Podcast Network, in theory coming soon to NGR Radio as well. Couple of big things coming up for us in the next over the next month or so. In the coming weeks, joining us, we're going to have Tommy Tallarico, a legend of the video game industry, been making music in video games for more than 25 years, also the creator, the phenomenally successful Video Games Live concert series. Also joining us, we're going to have Yacht Club Games coming up in the next month or so, as well as the creator of Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, who's got a tremendous resume in animation as well, accredited to working on animation in everything from the likes of American Tail to Iron Giant and All Dogs Go to Heaven and everything else in between. And then also going to be coming on the show, we've got Oh, Lord, it's just gone straight out of my brain for a second. Holy balls. Pencil Test Studios, creators of Armacrod, the spiritual successor to the Neverhood, and Skull Monkeys. So that's all coming up. Like the Facebook page, join in the forums group, and join the conversation. Follow us on Twitter at World1_1 Podcast, and you can find me personally on Xbox Live as Megatron0016, and I'm not even going to try and give out my Switch friend code because fuck friend codes.
Well, you can have a Switch name too, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome.
And who rattles off their friend code?
Exactly. Lisa, you want to leave any of your details so where people can find you?
Yes, you can find me huddled in the corner, doing nothing. No, you can find me on Twitter. Obviously, I tweet for the Secret Friends Unite in addition to Todd and Charlie, who is not here, and on our Facebook group as well. I'm also on Twitter under my own handle, which is Lisa with one Y. Type that all out except for the Y. And I don't know if people realize why I have the Y. Doesn't matter.
Know.
On the Switch, I'm Lady Dork 20, and I wouldn't rattle off my friend code. Other than that, I'm pretty much working 24/7 and hanging out with my super awesome kids.
Yeah, Lisa's the best in the biz with creating some awesome artwork and web assets and all that fun stuff. I can't even describe what she does, but she's awesome at it. She's actually created a lot of our stuff for Secret Friends. So if you need any work done in visual media, Lisa's your lady in charge. So check her out.
And I'm really expensive. No, I'm kidding.
No. She's awesome.
I talk to you, but I can't afford shit.
There's a Secret Friends discount, I think, involved. So ask her for it. She'll, I'm sure, give it to you.
Yes, you have to pay me partially in beer.
Yeah, you can find me at toxtra on Twitter, but I'm also obviously at Secret Friends U and those things like that. But I mean, and if you want to game with me, I'm toxtra on Xbox and on Nintendo. I think my friend name is Sparty98. But yeah, so we loved having you guys on. This has been fantastic. We would love to have other guests on in the future to talk about gaming and other things as well. Gents, thank you for being on. This has been fantastic.
I'm not a gent.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well,
it was fun.
Lisa, you're always on. With Secret Friends, though, obviously we have a YouTube channel. Check that out there, Secret Friends Unite. If you want to email us, secretfriendsunite@gmail.com. On Twitter, @SecretFriendsU. And we also have a Facebook group as well as a podcast page. So check us out there as well. So check out these awesome gentlemen also in the Secret Friends group and on their own entities as well. And as always, be the hero, not the villain.
Be the villain, it's more fun.
Thanks, everybody.
True.
Cool.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
We'll talk later.
Peace!
Secret Friends Unite!